Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I'll give a life update in this video, and I have some things that I'm working on. I did get a couple of fairy houses, just the small ones, so I'll talk about that too, and I'll show it. So, mm, I should have known that when my parents asked me to house sit um, for the next couple of months, it wasn't a question. So I'm house sitting, and it's not gonna be forever, and I am going in the opposite direction of where I'm planning on going, but I will get the immigration shorted. I've been doing that so much. I've been um this I don't know what's with my accent. I don't think I have that specific type of thing going on, but apparently I've been doing that recently. Um so when I get those things sorted, then I'll go in that direction. So, um, there is quite a bit to move with my storage unit, but I'll tell the ladies at Knit Night and even at the bookstore too, the people that come up to me and mainly talk about my knitting. So I'll um, mainly the elderly talking about knitting and just asking about things in general. Um, so I did bring out a project that I have done a couple of times because I learned new techniques and I wanted to incorporate it in the project. So that resulted in me ripping it out and then starting over again and to try different things, mainly the ladder back jacquard method for carrying floats. I figured I would work on this because, well, it has been on my needles for a bit, and I ran out of one of the colorways for the Alapaslopi garment that I'm knitting on. So I did start another part of the cardigan. It's a cardigan that I'm making, but I'll pick more yarn up tomorrow because it's no, it's not even Monday yet. So I will pick up more yarn in 2 days because I don't think the store is open on Monday anyway, and I'm going to be there on Tuesday. So, um, when I show the Seriola, this is also a project that I'm making into a cardigan. It's bunched up on the needles, but this is what I have. I'm just doing a couple more inches on the body, and I'm really sticking to that because I don't want to crop it just to say it's long enough, and then I'll move on to other parts of the project. I do have specific garments that I wanted to crop, and I had intentions of wearing it with my skirts. Um, but this one, I want to wear it over things, and I want this to be like a proper cardigan in a way where um, I think it'll be a good length. I feel like I'll need one more hank of the main color because I got this yarn on sale. They only had, the store had three of them. So I bought it and I paired it off with the Knotty Pine Fiber Co. in the colorway shell. I really love these two together. I think it'll be good for, I don't know how I would feel wearing this in Las Vegas. That's where my parents' house is. But I feel like the colors could go with where the environment is. So it's the Lore Wool Story 100% Kent lamb's wool, sourced and produced in England, the Fiber Co. Sorry, it's the Fiber Co. So I have it in the colorway Heaven, and I'll probably take a short course, and it'll just, I feel like one of the motivations that I'm thinking, well, if this is the situation, I feel like maybe I could take a course that could help with Ukraine. So maybe I'll make that like a silver lining type of situation in that way. But I won't be staying there like when it gets warm, and I feel like it'll get warm pretty immediately, at least. Well, this it's the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast right now. So I'm just thinking and thinking about like the type of projects that maybe I'll do while I'm there. Um, I don't feel like I have knit on sweaters and just garments in general in summer. So previous summers, I don't feel like it's a bad thing to knit on it. Um, Last year, I really got into accessories. I don't know, I was just in that type of mood. And I really want to finish the stuff that's on my needles, so I'm finishing this. I do want to cast on another hat, so at some point I think I'll cast on. And if my brother, not my brother, my cousin isn't busy, maybe I'll try giving him a call. He is really like my best friend cousin, and in general too. So he has like the nonchalant type of personality, and then he knows that I'm very like head on or even headstrong, and has experienced me in all the mists of chaos. And he definitely gives like certain perspectives, and even if I feel like he knows how to talk in a way where I'll be, maybe I won't do exactly as he says, but I'll be more I guess, alert or a little perceptive in that way. That sounds rude. No, I mean, I do listen. Um, but I know that I can do like my own thing a lot. And I feel that, honestly, I feel like that is, I don't know if I'm being stubborn. I feel like this is like a strength because in everything, I really, when I create something or do something in life, there's that little flair that goes on. And um, I feel that it's important to kind of customize a lot of things in life. I think that's so fun, like MySpace. No one can ever like take that away from me. I loved MySpace so much. And when Facebook happened, I just didn't know like that it would take off like that. I'm not saying it's a bad like social media site. I don't have Facebook. I haven't had Facebook since high school. Um, but MySpace had so much of like the coding, and he would just be that like make you feel like a genius, just kind of putting the codes in different parts of the editing part of the profile. Because sometimes you wanted to keep things based off of what like the background template was. And then you would take some things out, like you would add pictures. It was just like so fun to do. MySpace was just like, honestly, it was just such a vibe and fucking everything. Um, it was just part of like that type of era. And I feel that in my soul, it's one of those precious things to me. And I know I feel like just took MySpace like so far, but I feel like I'm not like the only one that just like fucking like fell hard for MySpace. Like it was just like, as I said, it was fucking everything. So that's my little spiel on MySpace. Um, as I was saying, like I have certain garments that I specifically the one that was supposed to be a gift knit, and I feel like I'll at least share it at some point. Like if I gift it to a guy, and then I'm like, well, I put it over. I love putting it over a hoodie. It just hits, and I enjoy that I took the time to make it the full length that I was trying to do. So, um, the next thing, well, it's kind of far actually. I'll show my Carla Core cardigan, the cardigan that I'm working on in a second. Oh, just there's just a lot going on. Oh my God. So I got this, and this is a vest. And I don't usually buy a lot of clothes. When I saw this, I like tried it on and loved it. I was between two sizes. Not like I was between two sizes in that way, but whether I wanted to get one size or the other size, the more I got the smaller size than what I was thinking that I would go for. So, um, because what I thought was fun was that I could put the I could put like a sweater underneath the vest, and then I would just wear it like that because for my other Alafasopi garment, um I wear it with jackets, but I don't I feel like I like it with the vest and because it does have an oversized type of it is oversized and for the current Alafaslopi that I have, I before I finished the project that I was working on, the pink one, I was thinking to do a size up because of I wanted it to be like a cardigan that I could have other layers underneath, but I am not doing that because um I just I just feel like the neckline will be too it won't be the right size. Like I feel like it'll slip off my shoulders if I do a size up. And it's already kind of an oversized type of sweater. It's with Lopi yarn, it's like an outerwear type of yarn anyway, so you tend to layer it and I have just worn it on its own and I felt fine. It actually was more breathable than what I was thinking it would be. I knew it was going to be breathable, but it's pretty comfortable when I just wear it on its own. Again, it's like rustic yarn, so your mileage may vary for the texture or the feeling of the yarn, but just in terms of breathability, it's fine. I'm not I didn't like get super hot in it. There were times where I felt like it was a little warm, but I just feel like it hasn't been a super cold winter season anyway. To to a point where like I'm wearing my tank tops. Well, I wear tank tops a lot, but I think I don't have a lot of my winter clothes as is. It's in my storage unit. So it'll be a lot to unravel when I get to my storage unit. Um, I'll finally get to the clothes that I didn't have, and maybe I won't need a storage unit while I'm in Las Vegas because I do have a bedroom, and then I'll just fill my bedroom like to the fucking brim of my stuff because I went to, well, I had a condo that was like 2 bedroom. Then I moved to the DC area, and there was an apartment that was 1 bedroom. And then I moved closer to DC, where I was like around 20 minutes away from DC, and that was a studio. So I have gotten I have gotten rid of some stuff in that time frame, and I wouldn't say that I don't have a connection to things. I'm just saying like because I my pattern came in, but I don't know. But oh no, here it is. But I've moved so many times and I've just lost things and gained more things. So it's not like I don't like my stuff. Like there are certain things that I do cherish a lot. And I really try to keep close because with my stuff being in different places, I try to keep track. And my sewing machine is back. Um, it's mainly like the threading that I've been working on. So, but it definitely works and I'm super happy about it. Um, I haven't really been doing a lot with it. I just got it, but I haven't been doing a lot with it because I have to prepare for another move. So I'm just like counting the moves that I've made over the years, and it's just crazy how I disappear for like over a decade for some people, and then like maybe like around half a decade for other people, and then all of a sudden I'm just here. Now I'm gonna go over there, and hopefully I'm just uh well, I'm definitely not staying there. So for like a long period of time in that way. Um, but I had to go back to my storage unit and like do something about it. Oh my God. So the pattern that came in is a vintage skirt pattern. It's Simplicity printed pattern 25C and 2666. I wanted the middle one specifically. I'm sure I'll have it as a template right now, and then in the future I'll just sew away and do kinds of skirts. I honestly don't know where that was going with what I was trying to say, but um, I am working on the second sleeve. But then I ran out of the black heather, so now it's just this. I still have the cream attached to it and the blue denim. That's what it's called. I'm going to show the finished sleeve. You know what? So this is the first sleeve, and I am enjoying the colors, the color scheme. This is what I ended up going with. I was going to do the ash heather, which is like a light. It's like almost. It's kind of in between, like light and a dark gray, because there are different shades of gray that um Lapis Lazuli has. So I'm going to have to make sure that I get the blue, but I don't think I'll have enough blue for the project because I didn't want to go for that one as the main color specifically because it was because when I went to the yarn store, it wasn't it was one of the colorways that didn't have a lot like for the quantity of what was there and what I might need for the project. I'm kind of thinking in like I was gonna gradually get colors or for the yoke at least because there's the design element of the yoke and I don't want to get a color and then I'm not going to use it because I was really thinking about the gray and then when I put them together it just in my brain it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. So I did start the ribbing. I didn't connect it. I'm doing a cardigan. I'm gonna switch the needles at some point, but this is what it is right now. And I'm happy that I got at least the first two rounds going because you can really see the ribbing of it. And I have a good amount of this yarn. I'll need one more anyway, but I'll I'll finish it. I don't know if I'll get to wear it this year. I might wear it this year, but I'm gonna wear it in a desert, literally in a desert. And I don't mind Las Vegas to like see as like a vacation, but I wouldn't stay there for a long period of time. Um, 'Cause I'm like a cold weather baby. I love cold weather, and I also breathe easier in cold weather because of my heart conditions. So it won't be a long thing. And I was like specifically saying it's not, or I was definitely um saying that this is not going to be like a permanent thing. And it's already expected that it will never be a permanent thing. Um, so now I'll show my fairy houses. I was kind of excited. Well, I was really excited because um I sorry, and I just think of like all the stores that know me. I know I shouldn't think about it like in a super sentimental way, but I know the one of the ladies at the dollar store, she knows like when I come in, or I don't go in like I don't have a schedule when I come in like that, but I go in there sometimes to get some things, and like she knows me in that way that I'm like someone that goes into her store. So I just like am thinking about who I'm telling because all of a sudden I just like won't show up to these places that I've been going to so for like a period of time. So it's just in a lunchbox bag. It's not just, but I appreciate that I got this free tote. I've never I've never gotten anything from Lunchbox, the store. Um, it's not like I don't want to get anything from the store, but it takes me a lot to buy something from the mall or something from like buying clothes from a store because I don't really like the idea of like I don't think a lot of people do like the idea of fast fashion, and I like to customize and I like to create things that are meant to last. And that's why I was like super keen on getting an antique sewing machine because I was looking up, I didn't weigh it, but I was looking up um how much these sewing machines weigh because it is like built like a motherfucker. Like it's one of the heaviest things that I've ever lifted before. And it was saying that it's like these sewing machines can weigh up to 50 pounds because they're made out of iron. And it makes sense. I mean, I already knew, but I didn't try to lift it. And I'm happy that I ended up getting it from an antique seller. It's a family owned like antique seller, but I got it off of Craigslist, and it was for a good price. And even with um getting it cleaned and oiled and tuned up in a way at the store, I don't know why I keep doing that. Repair store, it's still under the price of like getting maybe a sewing machine depending on like uh, the price range in the store, because it could do one stitch, but it says something like are being if you hone into specific skills, it says something about doing something and doing it extremely well compared to like if you're doing multiple things and it kind of spreads out that time to really hone into that skill. And of course, like over time, I'm sure, um, you'll be able to balance those things. But there's just such a classic look to the stitches that an antique sewing machine does. And I mean, these sewing machines have been known for maybe doing car detailing and around 1940 to 1944, somewhere around there. The government informed Mr. Singer that you're going to have to convert some of your factories or the facilities where the sewing machines are made because you're going to have to make some things that we need for war. So during that time frame, there was more of a halt on the sewing machines being manufactured, at least for the Singer sewing machines. So I'm really happy. I still have my other one where you can do different types of stitches, but and I have used it and I haven't had a problem with it. Um this one I feel like I'm trying to work as if it's part of me and to work with the machine. It did take me a while to practice certain things with getting to know the other antique machinery that I have, especially with my wooden sewing wooden wooden sewing machine, my wooden spinning wheel. Um, it's an antique sewing. I keep saying sewing machine, antique spinning wheel, and although like the way that it does certain things and the way that it's supposed to function is pretty straightforward. Um, the way that you move with the machine and the machine moves with you, it's something that is a little bit of an ebb and flow. And for it to extend to be a part of you, I feel like it is special too because it's all types of creation. And I think that's something that I'm not saying, well, the term like starving artist, because for maybe if you go through certain things in life and you have certain ways that um, just life has been straining and life can be straining for everybody in different times, but at different times. But in general, I feel that when you create art, it's like it's so important for you because you create what you feel is like the most beautiful thing that you can create. And for artists to continue to create and create, it just kind of, I can see how I get consumed with it because it's almost like the best things can kind of come out of you. And I'm not thinking about it like in a God complex now that I um, go on about what I think it is like when you create, but it's like you put all your soul and it's like it is creating an extension of you too in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna show my fairy houses. Um, I love fairy houses. I've collected them. I like to put them in different points of things, like points of my apartment, if when I had an apartment, my um I just felt like it was like so important to have these homes and for the fairies to go to. And I feel like um I have met fairies in my life, if you want to, however you want to, however you want to think about that. Um, but I think that's like that with anything because I did get asked like, why do you think fairies are real? And I'm like, damn, I don't ask you why you think angels are real or why your religion is real. Like, why are you up in my business about this? Um, but I remember one time I was in Massachusetts because I was living in New England at the time, and I walk into this flower shop, and it there were a bunch of people there, and somebody walked by me, and I just felt the essence of like a fairy, and um, and it was a person, and it just kind of goes to show that like the beings they're with us in our world too. So I keep saying I'll show it. Sorry. Oh, my deck is in here. So I have the Glory to Ukraine Tarot. This is like the one that I was so like when I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna get this. And it's this one. A lot of these are flower themes. They had other ones, but the flower ones were just I was just like thinking about it. Like so and of course, it reminds me of like Ukraine colors, and even with my color scheme, because I've been doing a lot of blue and yellow, and then I've been doing pink lately. Well, I just finished a pink, I finished two pink projects. I might do another. I have a lot left over of the pink Galapagos, but um, I had to see what I'm going to do with the gray or the ash heather, and but I do want to make another hat. And Jenna Kostet, the Finnish knitwear designer, sorry, that I like, I've done a couple of test knits for her and I follow her um design releases because I love them. She has two patterns that, well, she has a New Year's sale. And I was thinking that this was just like the opportunity. One is still, it hasn't been translated to English, but she did. I feel like she's like making her way because one of the patterns that I really wanted, um, wasn't available on her, one of her, or on her online Ravelry store page. And, but it was available like as a pamphlet in her area, and I was hoping to get like the PDF, and then I was seeing like how much it would be to like ship from Finland at some point, and it was over like $20. So I'm like, I guess I'll just wait. So that there's that pattern, and I don't mind it because I mainly wanted the chart for it. And then there's this other pattern. Both of them have birds. I do love color work that like has animals. Birds are one of my favorite things to knit. Um, I just love the lore. Like you could just feel like this spirit or like this story behind it because they're also based off of stories too, or the Finnish lore. And when you get her books, you'll see that too. So this is the second house. I got two pink ones. So this one's the first pink one. I was just like super feeling myself when I got these houses. Like I was there for a good 20 minutes, just like perusing that area. It's like the garden section technically. And like cuz I mean they're from the dollar store, so I just try to see which one has like the paint in the places where they're trying to put the paint. Some of them, like if they were damaged in some way, I was trying to get the ones that were good to go. And I just love fairy houses. And I'm thinking like, well, Adrian, will the UK have a lot of these types of things? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go into like hardcore fairy core when I'm there. I think I'm into green again. I go through all these stages of like colors and animals. For the longest time, green has been like my favorite color, and I'm not demoting green at all. Like, I'm a green lover, but I've been knitting a lot of blues and yellows for some years. My colors have been when I was like in the fifth grade. I don't know if you, I guess you don't need to count this as color. My favorite color is black, and it was red and yellow and green. Those are like the four colors that I kind of just rotated over the years. I'm sure that it's like symbolic in some type of way, but um I I've done that with animals too. When I was younger, I used to kind of rotate it with like different cats. Like I know when I was younger, I loved lions and tigers. I honestly don't know which one came first, but I mean, I love all cats in general. So, um, it was just like one of those things. This is me talking a lot. I mean, I talk a lot in all my videos. Oh, if you're wondering, this is like part of the, no one was wondering, but this is a scarf that goes with this jacket. I thought this was like fucking, like the sickest fucking thing that I've ever seen because you could do like this and it actually closes up and um it just looks like, oh my god, it just looks like something that goes with my outfits. I took the shirt out of the car. It was in one of my luggages that I have. And because I don't like taking out stuff because I end up having to put it back in my car anyway. And I'm gonna have to put everything back in my car again for my move. And so I had to think about because I don't like driving U-Hauls because you just end up going so slow on the highway. I understand why you go slow, and because, like, when you're looking at the dashboard, it doesn't go that fast anyway. And for a lot of different types of trucks, like, you can see that difference. So, um, I'll have to see. And the next two, sorry, there's so much to think about. So it wasn't like expected in a way where I thought I was going to be doing this, but it is expected because I was kind of told to do this. So I'll leave this one for, I don't know, I love all of them, but this is another one. This is the pink and purple. I feel like this is like the color of my soul. Oh my God, when I was in Florida, I got my what it was like a aura chart, and it had a bunch of colors like the pink and purple, and I just kind of knew that my soul was just very colored, or my aura was just very colored. I don't know what it said, I forget, but I think I still have the paper. I do have the paper. It's in my tarot binder that I kept. Just like when people would send me stuff, like my tarot reading friends would send me stuff. So I I just felt like this was so sweet. Um, and it reminds me of what is it? My godmother, when I was younger, she gave me this giant fairy statue, and I still have it. It's in my storage unit. And it was just like one of those classic statues, and it had children, two children with it. When you plugged it in, I don't know where the plug is. I think my mom might still have the plug, but they had like these wisps, like these hair looking types of if decorations on it, where it would kind of just like gradiently and like gently glow, because it was just like magical to me, and I loved it ever since. And I do love statues. Like I have a lot of different types of statues that I keep. So the last one, I don't know if this one's my favorite, but it might be because I love all of them. But I don't know if it's like between these two. This is the fourth one. I love it. It's like a sunflower, and I do love sunflowers. I love daffodils. My old house had daffodils like in the front yard. And I I'm not saying I favor other flowers or other like specific things, but well, I mean, you have what you like. So I love sunflowers and I love daffodils. Dandelions are probably one of my favorite flowers, if not my favorite flower, based off of like the whole spectrum of why I love them, for maybe like metaphysical or spiritual reasons, and also therapeutic reasons. Um, I love the taste of some flowers. I just, maybe I just love, like, am I feel like I do love yellow flowers, and I do love purple roses too. Like, it's very specific. Again, people like what they like. I love purple roses, and um, that was that was like stuff about me. But I even have I've gotten it done over the years. I think I might add to it. But if you don't know, this is one of my older tattoos that I've gotten in high school. It's a lion. Oh my God. I felt like when I was in high school, I had like a lion's mane. Um, and I feel like when you look at the different animals and anything that you like, I feel like it does say stuff about you. I have the Animal Speak book, and I love reading about the different animals that stand out to me. So I don't think I'm necessarily irritated, ugh, but I am like, am I irritated? Or I don't think it's indifference either because like I don't want to do this, but I might ask um my crocheting friend, and now I feel like she does a lot of cross stitch these days. She lives in that area. And again, I'm not saying I don't like that area, but I wouldn't live there in for the reasons that I gave. But I'm doing my visa thing, and then maybe I'll just like move my stuff there so I don't have to have a storage unit while I'm here. And I still have to get my stuff at my godmother's. So there's just a lot to get. And um man, I was talking to my best friend about it a couple days ago because it's like we act like it's just like us against the world. So, she's like, "Oh no, you don't have to. Just get a job here and like do this and do that." I'm like, "Girl, like you're right. Like this has to be what it is." And now I'm just like, I felt like it was gonna come down to this, but I was not trying to have it come down to this. So, um, oh, then I have my first finished project of the year. I wanted to get my scarf done. It's just I have been working on it a little bit. It does feel like a difference when I'm knitting with the Alafaslopi because that's a bulky yarn, and then the JC Rennie is the yarn that came with the We County Yarns advent calendar for it was technically 2 years ago, but I felt like I was consistent with it in the beginning and for the most part, and then I kept changing my needles because I just didn't want to not knit in the round, but then I ended up doing magic loop anyway. So, um, I feel like I just keep talking because because there's just now a lot more to do than what I was trying to do. And I felt like over this time, which isn't like the worst thing, it might have been like the world being like, Adrian, since you're not doing this or that, you could do this. Because I felt like my godmother gave me like some like side quests or jobs to do, which I happily did. And then now my parents are giving me like another side quest and stuff to do, and I'm like, this is um, it's definitely something. So thank you guys so much for watching. Um, it'll be in the next couple of weeks, like by the end of the month, it'll be another location. And then it'll be another location after that. And I hope it wasn't too much of a tangent. But I'll see you.